Flower again. I'd like to first of all thank you for your time. Today I wanted to talk a little history with you, and I wanted to drop into my subject matter with reckless abandon, but I have been captivated by the weather situation that's going on in the city of Chicago. So, and for the 4th of July and through the month of July, we've been experiencing rainy conditions and even tornado-like weather. So, of course, that had me a little alarmed because I had never seen that before. So it's kind of took me off my focus a little bit. And so I am doing research on that to see what's what with that as well. So I got a few suggestions and solutions for that also. But the topic that I want to talk about was just like a little deep dive back in history. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because the Chicago Public Schools system is getting ready to go back to school in August. It starts on August 21st. The grammar school and high school calendars have been posted. Now I know many students across the country will be returning to school next month if they already haven't, or some of them go year round or whatever the case may be. They're already in school. So I wanted to get an early start on putting in good ideas that we can incorporate into this school year, or that parents might be able to find useful for them and for the students so that they can have forward progress. Now last week, the videographer and her bestie talked about what they felt would be better, what they felt that young people would need to be able to carry themselves forward and to do the things that they needed to do to be successful. And I want to continue on that line. So I did, during my research, I did come across some interesting information. And I want to read it a little bit because I don't want to mispronounce or misstate anything. So I'm just going to read a little bit of what I found, and then we can talk about it a little bit, and then we can I'll look for your comments and everything like that after I read it. So let me just go here, make sure I'm reading everything in here and getting everything together. Okay. I do know that the Chicago Public Schools has some challenges, and as a lot of public schools across the country are experiencing the same type of challenges. But I'm hopeful and optimistic that these challenges can be resolved, and that students can have the type of education that they need to carry them forward, whether they want to be athletes, or whether they want to be doctors, lawyers, whatever they want to do in their lives. They need their education to be able to do that. So hopefully this year, with the new school board intact and the new mayor, Brandon Johnson, we can get some new initiatives with new ideas passed so that students can have a better school year for the 23-24 academic school year. But this is what I found, and you all tell me if this is similar to what is going on today. So in 1964, this is my look back in history. In 1964, it was a survey done by Robert J. Havigurst, Havigurst, for the Board of Education of the City of Chicago, and was published in 1964. And let me just read this. The book was entitled The Public Schools of Chicago, and it details the problems in Chicago public schools due to the influx of blacks from the rural South and white flight to the suburbs is one of the reasons for Chicago's faltering school. So the book noted the socioeconomic, or the SIR ratio, decreased because many high-income earners were moving to the suburbs and being replaced by low-income earners from the rural South. And you can find that on the book's page, on page 22. He also talked about one of his suggestions was to attract more middle-class folks and to retain the white population of the city. And that's found on page 26. In an article that was written in the Chicago Defender by A.L. Foster called Other People's Business, the article was written in response to the Robert J. Havigurst Board of Education survey of the Chicago Public Schools. Now, Foster points out that the survey was expensive, and you can find that on the first paragraph of that article. And it's pessimistic that it would fix Chicago Public Schools, and that's on paragraph 6 of the Defender. Also, he did talk about, he wrote, the school's populations have increased, but most people's attitudes have changed for the worse. Foster's suggestion is that schools should meet the cultural and economic needs of that community they serve. And that's in his Chicago Defender paragraph 12 of that article. And then now you fast forward in 50, 60 years. The public schools of today, the problems are nearly identical except for the racial makeup of the city of what they were in 1964. So that means that there needs to be some changes made. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do and what I can do to help to contribute to the kids having a better education and better athletic programs, better cultural programs, so like English, math, science, all of that. But I also want them to have extracurricular activities, which is what I was trying to get at, like the dance, like we used to have back in the day, like the singing, like the art, and all of that. A lot of those things have been taken out of the schools, so we don't want it to be that you can only get a good education if you go to a selective enrollment school or something like that. So, sorry about that. Some in the background to stir my thought, but anyway. So I want to focus more on those types of things, and like these articles, these little nice articles, when you read them, it's very important to understand what the mindset of the city was at that time and what the mindset of the city is now. And so I'm only trying to find solutions to problems. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to downplay this or that. I'm just trying to make sure, because we all know what the problems are in the cities with the schools. We just need to find a more suitable solution so that they help the students get where they're trying to go. And I think that if they have more social and economic monies put into the schools, that the schools may be able to produce the type of students that we're looking for, and the students will be able to have a more healthier relationship with the schools and appreciate being in school more than they do now. So just stay tuned. This is only part one of this conversation, and so we'll continue it on. And there's going to be other articles like this that I'm going to be bringing up, because people have been writing about this for years, and it hasn't solved the problem now. So we're going to take it step by step and make sure that we can get some information that's going to be useful to people to get their kids together for school. Now, my first suggestion is to make sure that the kids are in school and that they have their proper bedtime and all of that, so that they can get up and be productive students when they go to school. But aside from that, there's a lot of other things that need to happen, and the schools need to be updated, and all the schools need to be equal as far as their distribution and monies and all of those types of things. But that's a different story because of the way the schools are financed in the community. So we will do a deep dive into all of that, but we just wanted to start off with this by talking about an article from 1964, which was talking about the problems in the city. And then now in 2023, we're still dealing with the same types of problems, not the very same problems, but the same types of problems as we did back at that time frame. So just stay tuned. If you like this video, just subscribe and share. And thank you. Stay tuned.